How are you today, my friends? Mr. Green here, and we're going to start the next project. Um, I've been wanting to do this project, and a lot of it's going to be done with my son. We've always wanted to do a project together, but today he's at school, so I'm going to start taking this snowmobile apart. We're going to build a dune buggy two-seater frame, and we're going to take a snowmobile engine and mount it in it. Now, anybody that's followed my channel, I did do a two-seater side-by-side build. It just didn't turn out the way I wanted. The steering was a little stiff, blah, blah, blah. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a lot of parts from that build. It already has been hacked apart from other builds, but nonetheless, there's still lots of good parts there, so we're going to take a lot of that. But I've always wanted to do one with the snowmobile engine because I think having the centrifugal clutch, not having gears, it'll be good enough for my son, and then it should be a lot of fun to ride. And I've got good ATV tires, all of that stuff already. So, if you haven't checked out my last video, I am doing a giveaway for the hitting 10,000 subscribers. So feel free to go back and check out that and enter that contest. But so today, what we're going to do is we're going to take this snowmobile apart here. I'll show you what we're going to use. This old girl here. It's a 1988, I think, Indy, and it's in pretty bad shape. The guy didn't really take care of it. Seats all ripped up. The bogies are all snapped. But I got it for 200 bucks, and the engine does run. I'll give you a close-up here of the engine. I think it's a 440. I will let you guys know once I find out for sure. It should tell me here. There you go. There's the engine. And so it does have good compression. I checked the compression. There was 120 in each cylinder. And then it needs some carb work, and I have all this other stuff in here. It is oil injected. So all of this stuff is going to have to come onto the next build, onto the actual buggy. So I've got like a lot of the steering and stuff I'm going to steal from here because it's already built, and if I can incorporate it into mine, then that's what I'm going to do. So yeah, first things first is we're going to start taking this all apart, and I'm going to try to keep everything organized, and we'll get this engine out and kind of go from there. So I'll kind of sit you guys back, probably throw on some music, and we're gonna take this engine out. So let's get it set up for that. All right. Well, got all my tools out here, and let's start pulling this thing apart. I gotta take out is the speedo. It'll be attached. Okay, I had to take the breather line off there. It's always something when you're pulling an engine. Okay. Now we should lift out of there for the third time. Said that. Okay, engine is out. Now we are going to salvage a lot of parts from this thing, as much as I can, because the rest is going to go to scrap anyway, so I'm going to try to use as much of the steering. Sorry, that engine was heavy, and you know, all of that stuff up at the front here. We'll use as much as we can, and then we'll build as much as we have to. So, alright guys, well, I'll bring you in here, we'll take a look at this motor, and we'll see how bad it is. Okay guys, here it is up on the table. It's clearly needs a once over, for sure. And now that I have it out, I want to make sure that, you know, all the carbs are going to come off, be taken completely apart. I want to take the oiler apart, make sure all of that's all nice and flowing properly. I know I do have really good spark, so I'm not going to worry about that at the moment. I did check that earlier. And then, you know, an overall cleanup, paint, and then it'll be ready to be put into the new buggy. Now, the new buggy hasn't been built yet, so we still have that to do. But I kind of want the engine ready so that I can kind of build around that to make sure that everything fits. So, yeah, I'll get this thing kind of taken apart, and in a little while I'll bring you back, and I'll show you how bad the carbs are, and we'll go from there. Okay guys, well, I've got this carburetor apart now. Well, I've got it off, and I've got the 4 screws out of the bowl. So let's pull this off here and see what we got. Oh, it's got gas in it. Oh my. Look at that, guys. Say it needs some cleaning. Look at inside the bowl. Just full of water and other gunk. So I guess these things are getting a full service and a full soak. So that's going to be the next thing, is I'm just going to take all this stuff apart. And alright guys, got you set up here. I just want to make sure that we still have good spark, and I'll show you guys that it is a nice strong spark here. Hopefully you guys can see that. So yeah, it's got a nice strong spark. Now I did run into a few issues. Let me back this all out with the carbs. The one carb I'm definitely able to salvage. Now this second carb here, one of the main intakes for the fuel, I'm not, you know, so diverse in all the different names of what's the parts, but the main channel that feeds into the main jet is completely plugged on this one. Now these are going to go sit in a bath for, you know, a day or so, and you know, see if that helps clean out everything. Everything else seems to be free in them, so that's a good sign. So on the next video, what we're going to do is we're going to hopefully get this engine all back together, get the carbs put back in, and then we'll figure a way to bolt this thing down so it doesn't take off, and then we'll get some fuel hooked up to it and see if we can get it to start. So thanks for staying tuned. This is part 1 of this build. I have no idea how many parts it's going to be. It's probably going to be quite a few to do this whole build. Yeah, please remember to subscribe to stay tuned for all new upcoming videos, and we will talk to all my friends later. Alright, you guys have a great day.